So today we're going to be working on this thing. Now, if you didn't watch the previous video, the Thermo fan broke. Now, before I put in the replacement one, I just want to pull out the radiator because all the bottom, it's hard to see, but is covered in mud. Like air wouldn't even be flowing through it. So we'll have to pull off this bottom boost pipe, pull off the radiator hoses, and we'll drain it because I only replaced the coolant not that long ago. So we'll drain that all out, and I've never taken the radiator out of this since I've put it in, so because I've got all like the power steering fittings attached to the radiator like that one, it was real tight getting them in there, so hopefully they come out with not too much trouble. So let's get stuck into it. Alright, that could probably stay there. At least the radiator can come out now, where this side I'm just going to unbolt that. I'm not going to worry about unbolting this because there's too much stuff bolted to the actual bracket here. And it looks like it's going to be too, because the intercooler pump would have to come off. All these hoses would have to come off the actual mounting brackets down there, and I probably don't have to undo them, so we'll see how we go. Could have given it a better clean, I reckon, before I started working on it. See, this is what I was talking about. This side, like all down there, that's completely blocked, but it's not actually as bad as I thought. It's probably about 20 mil up the whole way, but at least now it's out and it'll be done properly. But like this side, that's not good. And for those that don't know, this is actually a 3-litre turbo diesel Hilux radiator. So this was the biggest and fattest I could get to fit with everything else to work. So it should be a heaps big enough radiator. Like the Hilux is a big heavy car, it's a bigger capacity engine, and this is, yeah, it's been fine so far except for where the Thermo fan broke, but anyway. Alright, well, we'll leave that overnight and let the water soften up the mud, and then tomorrow we'll make sure, we'll spray it with the hose and make sure the hose sort of flows through it alright, and that'll be job done. I have ordered a new Thermo fan. That should be ready to be picked up tomorrow morning, so once that radiator's all cleaned out, we can put it all back together, and I just want to give it a quick oil change too, just because it's running a bit more fuel now, so the oil gets contaminated pretty quickly, so we'll do that as well once we've finished all in the front here. And and I also got to get a new temperature sensor here because the top broke off it, that's always leaked, but I've just never worried about it because it was like drizzling out and it didn't ever really lose water. But now that it's actually the end's broken off, if you can see it, I'll replace that while we're here too. So I ended up let this soak for 2 days, but I've already given it a rinse out once and it's come up heaps better, and so I thought I'd leave it one more night and just hopefully get the last little bit, so then I'm happy. So I'll get the hose now and we'll give it a last little spray, and so I think that's as clean as we're going to get it, which it might have been hard to see, but that was completely blocked through there. So we've done pretty good with that. You can definitely see where the blades sort of folded up those there. It actually, lucky it didn't pop the tank there, but we can put it all back together now. Fresh fan. So hopefully the plug's the same. which it's not. Why would they do that? Alright, we'll quickly just swap these plugs over if they swap over. They look a lot longer than those ones. So we just got to remember, blue one is the flat one to the locking clip. Oh, thank God they're the same. So see how these ones, they've broken off the tabs? We'll just have to do the same with our new ones. Alright, so the blue one should clip in that way. Or does it go? Yep, that way. Just like that. And this one goes that way. Alright, there we have it. Besides that plug, the actual end being different, this is the same part number fan. So I'll just have to make sure it goes on in the same orientation as the old one, and we got a fan again. Now there's nothing wrong with this fan. We did double check it. It's literally just the blades are crooked. So what it did, it blew the actual fuse in it. So we have double checked that it all works. I put a new fuse back in it and tested it, and it's all working fine. So if I ever come across another fan or find someone who sells them, because Spal don't, they only sell the whole unit, which I thought would be the case. So I'll just chuck it in the shed and hopefully come across one that with a blown up motor, and I'll have a second spare fan. Right. So if we grab our new fan, Right, so we got the radiator all bolted up nice and tight. We got our boost pipe in, which is all bolted up. I just got to put one bracket on, but that goes on with the thermo fan. Now, before we actually install it, what we'll do is we'll plug it in, make sure it's all working, and I still haven't got the switch for it yet, which I'll get in the next couple days, but at least we can earth it out and just make sure our the circuit's working properly. Right, so we got the fan plugged in. All we got to do is, because the switch is all falling apart, I can earth it straight to the engine, which it works fine. I've got to try and... Oh. Alright, so everything's working. That's actually a little bit quieter than the old one. That surprises me. See what happened to the switch? The whole center come out of it. Like, well, I bought this brand new, this switch. Did I buy this one new? Maybe I didn't buy this one new. But when I first put this motor in, this was leaking from here. Obviously, she's just gone kaput. This is actually out of a Ford Laser. And I think it comes on at about 88 degrees. Or 87 degrees or something like that. So I finally got a thermo fan switch. It actually took them a few days to order this in, and after double checking with them how many times that it's actually the right one to suit my car, it's actually got no ring on it. Alright, so now we've got our thermostat. We got our Thermo fan switch in. Now we can fill it back up with coolant. Now, there's a bit of a trick to putting coolant in this, because this engine factory had a header tank for the radiator. That's what this bleed valve is here. So you got to sort of, I like to park it on a slight hill just so the radiator is higher than the motor, and then you can fill it up with coolant that way. That's just a Commodore. If people are familiar with Commodores, that's just a bleed valve straight off the thermostat of one of those. So I open that up, fill it up with coolant till it starts bubbling out of that, and then I fill full of coolant, then we'll bleed it up, get it hot, and then we'll just open up that valve again and just get any air out, and that should be all done. I got some stuff in it, some dirt and whatnot, so I'll just filter it as I pour it in. Making sure that valve's open. See, now we have, there's still an airlock in it. I'll probably have to start it up. Shut it off. Now we'll get some water and top it up. Which that'll actually probably rise till the thermostat opens. Well, there we have. I've just gone around the block. The thermo fan's on now. She's pumping a bit of air. Just check that leader. See, that's better. We've got a nice good stream. Oh, she's all fixed. The actual thermo fan comes on a lot earlier now. I wonder if that's a colder switch than before. I think I already said, but it's about 87. Well, the old one was about 87, but I don't know what that new one is. All right, well, I'm glad that's all fixed. New thermo fan, everything's working. That switch comes on a bit early, which will probably be a good thing in the summer, but now that track we did Bunyip in the previous video when this actually broke, we're going to be heading back there and doing a few more tracks there in the area, so stay tuned for that. But I now know once the Christmas holidays is over and I can actually pull it apart, I'm going to have to try and change the mounting brackets or something for this thermo fan. Now people might wonder why I don't actually have a shroud that mounts to it. Like I couldn't make one that fit in there that was going to be able to work all right, because I did make one once where the fan bolted to an actual proper aluminium shroud I had in there, but it ended up being too big. That's why if you see our steel brackets there, they sort of curve in and there's that foam, because that foam actually just sits off the radiator. So yes, it's going to be a bit of fun and games trying to make something work so the fan can't move when you hit something hard when the fan is on. And even if I like, people might think if I put you can get like the cable tie things that go through the radiator to the fan, but the same thing, the fan will just hit the radiator and wreck that, which I don't want. So now if people are curious on how much that fan was, it was about 240 bucks. Like, they're not cheap, but Spal are a good brand. I think they're Italian made. Like, everyone I speak to, like, will Spal fan, get a Spal fan, you won't have a problem with it. I was looking at eBay ones, but they're like 60 bucks, so I didn't get one of those. So that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching.